An ongoing exhibit in Shreveport is offering healing and changing lives. Sexual assault survivors are getting the opportunity to share their stories through art. Mollie, could you tell me exactly what is the OUTLIER exhibit?
So the OUTLIER exhibit was born out of my own personal trauma as a childhood victim of sex abuse. And it was a way for me to take a talent, photography, and use it to turn the trauma of childhood sex abuse into triumph.
Wow, wow. Now, so basically, that's what motivated you to even participate and start the OUTLIER?
Yes, the most important thing to me was to take a story of the worst days of my life and to use it to share, encourage that truth, because I didn't do anything wrong. I was a little kid, I was 5 years old and completely innocent. But a lot of us who have been through this kind of trauma, we really feel like we have some part in the guilt, and we carry some of that shame. So the goal of OUTLIER is to reach out to other victims like myself, to show them that they're not alone, that they don't deserve any of the guilt and shame that comes along with being a victim of this kind of abuse and assault, and that they can actually turn it around to help others who have been in similar situations like them, and use it as a way to show that we're not alone, that there's strength in what we've been through, and that we can get better and we can help others get better too. And it's not unusual to be a victim, Nikki. A lot of people are victims of a lot of things. It's not really that unusual to be a survivor. A lot of folks have come through trouble and triumphed over it. But to go from victim to survivor to advocate, that's unusual. And that's why I settled on the term OUTLIER, because that is what makes us unique. That's what has us off that bell curve. It's when you have that trouble, get better, and then turn around to help someone else that you truly become an outlier.
Well, what I wanted to know, if you could explain to me this exhibit, this display here, part of the exhibit.
Yes. So one of the first things that really hit us with OUTLIER, I worked with my creative team, and we wanted a way to display the art that would be unique and arresting. So we came across these really old doors. Some of these doors are 50 years old and probably even more. They're really beat up, but you know what? So are our outliers. They've been beat up by tragic circumstance. And a lot happens behind closed doors. So we're flinging these doors wide open with the light of truth to expose these predators for what they've done to these people, and to put the shame and guilt where it belongs, on their shoulders and not on the shoulders of these outliers. The other thing that you'll see that runs pretty consistently through each photo shoot is that there are banners that express words like used and betrayed and anger and lonesomeness and damage. Those banners were commissioned from the students of the Talented Arts program in Bossier Parish Schools. The outliers got together, we sat down and we said, okay, what are the words that we think of when we think about our victimization? And we gave that list of words to those students, and they painted them so beautifully on these banners at the leadership of Steve Porter, who is their instructor. And so we have a real community collaboration with this project. But another consistent component in each of the portraits is the cage. The cage holds the words of the assailant. For instance, Edie's cage shows the words, "No one will believe you." And boy, haven't we heard that throughout human history. Right. That's the -- reason why victims don't tell their truth, because they're afraid no one will believe them. So we give the words of the assailant their proper place of diminishment in a cage. That's where they belong. Another component that you will see consistently throughout the portraits, and probably the most important one, is the mementos that remind the outlier of what's happened to them. In Johnny's case, is he brought the makings for a roux, for gumbo, because when he was feeling awful about himself and what had happened to him and what he'd been encouraged to do with his own blood sister, he would think about his grandma And his grandma would help him make a roux and make some gumbo, and those were happy thoughts for him. So the mementos of Johnny's assault involve the good memories that he has of making food with his grandmother down in South Louisiana.
Wow, so that brings him some sort of comfort.
Yeah, and when I photographed Johnny, I asked him in his shoot, what do you think of, or how do you feel when I say the word grandmother? And you can see in that photo there that he is moved to tears, and the words that he thinks of are safe, loved. That's how his grandmother made him feel. And the expression on his face is priceless.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Wow.
He was a very broken man, but Johnny's doing great. And I believe it's because he shared his story and received the power from doing that.
Right. That was like a burden lifted off
Sure
his
was.
shoulders.
Sure was. And it was an honor to help him.
Wow.
A privilege even.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. If people want to either participate or if they just want to come and check out the exhibit, where can they go for more information?
They should go to the website outlierstories.com. That's a great place to participate. And by that I mean, if you have a story that you want to tell me, and it's the hardest story you've ever told, you can do it privately with a secure connection right there at my website. The best place to find out what's going on in the moment with Outlier is our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Outlier Stories. And I'm pretty active on that page and keep it very much up to date. And this exhibit has also been made into a Facebook event, so it's very easy to go and find that information on social media. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at @outlier_stories.
Okay.
So you can get connected to us in any one of those ways.
Okay. Okay, wow. Well, thank you so much, Mollie,
Thank
for
you.
taking out time to speak with me about, like I said, this incredible exhibit, and I really am hopeful that people will come and check it out.
Yes, I've already had disclosures this week, Nikki, so this,
wow.
this exhibit has already made another impact in this city.
Well, that's wonderful
Yeah,
to hear.
it's good news.
Wonderful
Bad
to
news
hear.
for the victims, but good news to know they're not alone.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are a sexual assault survivor and you want to share your story, visit outlierstories.com. You never know how your experience could impact someone else's life.